Soccer Senseis, Extra Time, Rodrigo Salazar, en esta segunda special guest, Willie Cartagena. He is the sensei when it comes to goalkeeping. He is now in Ecuador training a team for the FC Pele, right?
Yes.
And we had him come by to do a drill with us for goalkeeping, and you know, extra special treat to have him here, especially after Ecuador's wonderful run up to the World Cup. Really, thank you so much, man. Thank you for joining us. You have a very interesting story. You know Pele. You were with the Cosmos for a while. Please tell us about yourself.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's true. I'm an A-licensed coach from U.S. Soccer, and as well as a national goalkeeping license from U.S. Soccer. And I had soccer experience for many years. I started with Pele soccer camps in 1978, and then I had various jobs, various positions at high schools and college level, and soccer camps at #1 matchstick goalkeeping camp and Oklahoma City Soccer Academy for 27 years. For both clubs, I was member of the staff. And 7 years ago, I went to Ecuador to try out how it is to coach on the senior level, on a professional level. I went with Deportivo Quito, then Espoli, then we took Independiente, who's in first division right now. We're in the second division, same as this club, and we're trying to fight the same thing, trying to move up the ranks up to first division. So Independiente, I worked 3 years. We were able to get him to first division, and then I went to work with Aucas, another famous club in Quito, in Ecuador. And that's it. It's been more than 40 years of playing and as well as coaching in soccer.
But today's your birthday also. So
yeah, today's my birthday.
Crazy.
Thank you.
So you know Cosmo, and there's a picture of you with Pele and stuff. Tell us a little bit about that era as opposed to now. We were talking about this earlier off camera, how the U.S. is now a lot more in tune with soccer versus back then where it wasn't really as popular.
Well, I'll tell you a story. When I came to this country in 1958, I mean, my brother and I were the only two people, crazy ones, with the soccer ball in the park, growing up in downtown in the village of Manhattan. And eventually, as we grew older, we never forgot about soccer, and we started playing. I played for LIU in Brooklyn when soccer was beginning, and at the college level, it was already important. But from there on, I found out that Pele was coming over, and he set up a school with the Cosmos, Pele soccer camps. He needed coaches to anybody that knew about soccer to help him out. However, you needed to be a licensed coach, so I began my C license, then the B, and then the A license in order to learn from the greatest player in the world and in soccer, and to obviously to teach the kids the way he wanted them to learn this game. And it's come a long way since Pele came with the Cosmos, and it died down when the league, the NASL, died because of there were too many foreigners playing in the league and not too many Americans on the field. And as we discussed earlier, today is the other way around. Today, I think less foreigners in the MLS team and more Americans, and that's as a result, the national team, the United States soccer team, did very well. I think we represented very well, and it says a lot for the MLS, knowing that Klinsmann took most of the players from the MLS and only a few players that played in Europe, 2 or 3 players from Europe.
Plus, there were very few leagues being televised at that time. I became an ardent follower of the Mexican League.
Yeah.
Watching the games of Telemundo and Zone because the European leagues weren't being shown. Now you can watch, it's far easier to watch European leagues here in the States than it is in Europe.
You get up in the morning every Saturday or Sunday, and you have games from Italy, from Serie A, and you have games from the Premier League. And so the exposure and the presentation of soccer games has grown completely in this country and all over. I see it, and you can watch it anywhere all over the world. But especially here in the United States, I really like the idea that soccer is being exposed and is being welcomed by the population, by many fans. Not soccer fans. Soccer fans are always going to follow it, but say the average citizen that has friends or they are able to talk to each other about the games coming up, and so it's the growing population, the growing fans. It's increasing tremendously.
Definitely. So, what do you think is the next step for the U.S.? They did really well this World Cup, but seeing the influx of more players, more young people playing it, what do you think will be the next step that the U.S. has to take to really become competitors for the World Cup?
Well, I think U.S. soccer is doing well. I think Klinsmann, if he stays in the as a head coach and as the head of the program, maybe he has ideas, great ideas that he did in Germany. Germany won the World Cup because some of his players, when he coached Germany, they played in this World Cup, and so he knows what he is doing, and hopefully they would help him out or respond to him staying with the national team, with the program, so that they continue to learn and increase their ability to show with worldwide in their professional leagues. However, one more thing that I was thinking is I think the United States needs more exposure or more experience playing against these teams. The international tournament that's going on right now, it's I think very, very good. It's going to do a lot of good to the MLS players, MLS league, because they're playing against top teams from Europe, from Italy, from England, and that's going to help out a lot to the players of the MLS that are experiencing the way these players from Europe, World Cup players, are playing, and that I think that's going to help. Also, maybe I don't know, it might be a weird idea, but I think it would be good that maybe there would be an exchange of teams. Maybe 3 or 4 teams from the MLS would go and play in Mexico, and maybe 3 or 4 teams from Mexico come and participate in the MLS. This way, there's a continuation, and maybe also our players can learn. I don't know, can learn moves, tactical advantages, strategies, and that's the way that I think is the direction of our national team.
It's a great idea. Talk a little bit about Ecuador, participation in the World Cup. They did pretty well, but what do you think was missing? What do you think? What's the next step for them, et cetera, et cetera? By the way, Emelec. Not Barcelona, Emelec. Sorry.
Good. Yes. I think Ecuador had a very good team. I mean, collectively they had good players, and we thought, all Ecuadorians thought, that they were going to have a nice presentation, better than the one they had in the previous 2 World Cups. However, I think it's part of the culture or the way they think. They need a coach. I wish they could have a coach as Bengal from Holland, someone who's a disciplinarian, who knows really knows about the game, and who knows how to direct people and demand their talent, so that they would show it in the field. However, the Ecuadorian team didn't do as well as they were supposed to, as we expected them to do in the World Cup. Unfortunately, they lost. They didn't do well in the first game. They were winning. They let it get away, and so we're hoping that maybe we're in the midst right now of looking for a national team coach who's going to take care of the national team in Ecuador and go to the Copa America. That would be like an experience or an experiment to see which is the real coach that the Ecuadorian team needs, and hopefully start working on the program for the next World Cup.
Any question before we? Speaking of Germany, one of the stepping stones of that team was the goalkeeper itself.
Noor is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He is probably the best goalkeeper. By the way, talking about goalkeepers, this World Cup, I never saw such talent as far as goalkeepers. I mean, every team had a tremendous goalkeeper. Every team that you saw, they did spectacular. So look at Tim Howard. I mean, who would think what a game he had? Unbelievable. Also, Costa Rica. Ecuador had a great goalkeeper. Colombia, all the teams, tremendous goalkeepers. And that was good, because I'm a goalkeeper trainer, and that's all I did. I looked to see how the goalkeepers played and took control of the game, and knew where it was spectacular.